Will James Gunn actually be hired back by Disney? There is a lot of new evidence that points to maybe yes. We're breaking it all down. This is the Nerdy News Rundown. Let's get you filled in. This news is as surprising as the random coffee jokes to new viewers of this show. All right, that was a really bad coffee joke. So the James Gunn firing and tweet story continues. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you've probably been living under a rock. James Gunn had a bunch of old tweets resurface in an attempt to smear him online. It seemed to work. Alan Horn, who is the head of the film division for Disney, put out a statement, and Disney severed its business ties with James Gunn rather abruptly. Since that time, we've seen a lot of different actors for Guardians of the Galaxy come forward and show support for James Gunn, and most recently, an open letter was sent to Disney by the entire cast of the Guardians of the Galaxy films, which they all signed. This open letter was incredibly well written. It was heartfelt. It explains that James Gunn had made mistakes in the past but should not be judged for them, and that he is a changed person. It was pretty cool to see the entire cast get behind James Gunn and try to fight against this court of public opinion that seems to be plaguing basically society in general. However, I, like most people out there, originally thought there's no way this will work. It's a cool effort. It's a show of solidarity, but it's not going to work. In fact, it might actually have the opposite effect in Disney's eyes. But then just yesterday, there were a lot of different reports coming out from reputable trades that Disney is indeed considering rehiring James Gunn. The talk on the town is that when Bob Iger returns from a vacation he is currently on, they will sit down with James Gunn and try to work through this problem and come up with a good solution. And so the unthinkable may well happen, where a celebrity in the modern era is tried in the court of public opinion, has their entire career ended because of some tweets or because of some jokes, and then might get a second chance. I personally think this would be a great move for Disney. Now, a lot of the problem here is that Disney is an incredibly conservative company. They make a lot of money off of conservative consumers, and the simple fact that these jokes are in terrible taste, and when they're grouped together, they make him look absolutely awful. For that reason, it was thought to be pretty unlikely that Disney would rehire him. However, it is worth noting that he had apologized for these in the past, that this was a smear campaign by someone who's associated with the far right and alt-right. And just in general, I think just like the letter that the Guardians cast signed, a lot of us believe that whatever's going on right now with social media and with, you know, trying people out in the court of public opinions, this has to stop. So this would be an incredible move, in my opinion, if Disney would hire James Gunn back, put out some kind of a statement, although I am still personally skeptical that they'll be able to do that. However, I guess the big story here is what was thought to be absolutely impossible a few days ago is now more likely. I believe these reports. I believe that Disney is going to sit down with James Gunn, and I believe that there is a small chance that they will rehire him, making a really great example of how to deal with this current, you know, Twitter political culture thing that is happening in the world right now. And we've seen a recent example of this as well with Chris Hardwick. AMC performed their own investigation of the claims made by Chloe Dykstrom. They found no evidence to support these claims and decided the best route was to return Chris to work. We are living in a really strange time right now. I would have never thought that this would be possible for Disney to walk back on a decision like this and to allow someone to return to the limelight and making movies for a family company after they've sort of been tarnished with a bunch of really gross pedophilia jokes. But I think ultimately, as a society, if we want people to grow, if we want people to get better, and if you're going to chastise someone for any little blemish or bad behavior that they've had in the past, that doesn't really support progress in general. And so if Disney were to do this, I think it would be a huge step and set precedents for other companies to do a similar thing and at least take their time with situations like this. But that is the news out there. Disney is indeed considering hiring James Gunn back. This whole episode is not done. We're gonna have to keep a watchful eye on what will happen next, but I want to open this up to all of you, whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube or some weird other app that we don't know about. What do you think about this? Should James Gunn be rehired? Do you think this sets the right kind of message? Do you think it's an impossibility? Whatever your thoughts, let us know in the comment section below. That's going to do it for today's show. Happy Wednesday. You're halfway through the work week. Congratulations. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day, and I will see you in the next video.